Welcome to Dynamite Delight. This was a very largely packed show with a lot of stuff. Some story, good matches. The storytelling at the end was very well done. But I gotta say this before we get started. I need to say this. We have a few days before Rampage. We do. This show builds into Rampage. If they don't deliver on what everyone is thinking, like what happened with Christian Cage. Remember, guys, everyone thought it was someone very important when Christian came out. Now, mind you, I was glad to see Christian, but I was like, really? Not because Christian is not a great acquisition because of what he's done. But the point is, everyone expected someone bigger than Christian. And if they don't deliver on CM Punk or Daniel Bryan, for that matter, on this Rampage, Tony Khan has just gone from here to here. That is no joke. There's no exaggeration. They are riding high right now. Everyone knows CM Punk has been signed. Everyone knows Bryan Danielson has been signed. If they don't have CM Punk show up to Friday, they're dead meat. Because here is WWE right now. They're not doing well. Particularly that many people believe, and I will probably do a Gump report on this and release it tomorrow, on what I think about what's going to happen after TakeOver 36. I believe it's 36, yeah. I really do believe they're here and Dynamite is here. Not about ratings. This is not about the ratings, guys. This is about people's feelings right now. Really hardcore fans see Dynamite here and WWE here, not NXT. WWE in general with SmackDown, Raw, and NXT and how Vince has acted. They're here. But if CM Punk doesn't show up, you're going to get that. People are not just going to be disappointed. They're going to be outraged. So they better deliver. Now, did they deliver on this show? Yes, they did pretty well. Now, admittedly, I'm going to say this. There was so much in the show. Many people are going to feel a bit overwhelmed because it felt like they were cramming in 20 pounds of bird into a 5-pound bag. There was so much on this show that they covered. It makes it difficult to really pinpoint absolutely everything. So I'm not going to pinpoint everything here. I could, and I might almost, because I have this tendency when I want to do less, I do more. I'm a perfectionist. I care about being as accurate as possible, but then I go overboard and then I miss something and I get pissed off afterward and then, but you get my point. There's so much in this show that a lot of people are going to feel either like they waited too much, they couldn't cover everything, and it feels like they should have left it for next Dynamite or this Rampage. It's going to be that. So let's move on. We got a match between 2.0 and Sting and Darby Allin. Now, beforehand, you have Moxley and King come out. They get attacked by Garcia as well as 2.0. And then you get Sting come out. You get Darby Allin come out. They try to help out. Kingston is taken out. Moxley got taken out first. Then Kingston grabs Garcia, goes into the back. And eventually, you get the match, which was not very long. I will say, Sting looked very good. The match wasn't very long, which was one of the wisest things they did. It was like maybe 6 minutes. Maybe 6. Darby did a lot of the work. And I know it almost went maybe more than 6 minutes, maybe 7 or 8. But the point is, Sting was not exposed too much. At one point, 2.0 decided to put Sting through a table. He jumps up like it was nothing. Now, mind you, understand, taking a table hit like that, no matter if you're young or old, it ain't fun. You don't take that very well. It's not always comfortable. But you could say Sting took it very well, got up, took it, whooped their ass along with Darby Allin. Now, Darby Allin cut his finger up. I don't know where he cut it, but he did. That was, hopefully he's all right, doesn't need stitches in his hand. It's just a cut. It's not like something you require stitches. I'm just saying. In the end, they won. And I'm not surprised they won. They were supposed to win because this is Sting. Sting needed to win. I'm just saying. Now, let's do the Sammy Guevara. I believe, did the Sting win? Wait a minute. I want to make sure I was right. Yeah, Sting won. Yeah, they won. Here, Sammy Guevara. Two things for Sammy. One, Sammy's match with John Spears was actually quite good. It was really good, actually. And I'm not into the big aerial all the time for a wrestler. But in this case, because of what happened earlier, when Sammy, before the show started, supposedly, he went to Pam, went to his girlfriend, and asked her to marry him. I believe I got a shot. It's in my face. And after, when he had to go to sensitivity training, and he probably met this girl maybe right before then, around the same time, because he said something insensitive to Sasha Banks. It's good to see that he's decided to marry somebody. Of course, they're just fiancés now. Hopefully, it will work out well. I'm hoping, because wrestlers don't always work out with the ones they marry. They have to deal with it. And the match itself was pretty good. Sammy began to bleed. I don't know where he was bleeding. The commentators didn't even know where he was bleeding. So the question is, where was he bleeding? He did do quite a good job. At one point, he did a very nice cutter. I'll say this. Don't like aerial all the time. I like a balanced match of ground, some intelligent grapple wrestling, and aerial. But in this case, it was more aerial than anything else, and it was a bit of ground and pound and some hard impact. There wasn't really much strategy in it, but I will say it was done very well. And Sammy had this moment with his girlfriend where he was still bleeding. She kissed him while he was bleeding, so she understands what she's going through as his girlfriend, who's now his fiance. She's marrying a wrestler. She knows what she's getting into. Let's move on. Let's do a little bit of video segments. We had the part, well, here I'm not going to show any images. Well, maybe I'll show just Jade Cargill, but not yet. We got Jon Moxley. He's angry. He wants Garcia. Understand. But he did say he don't care who it is. He's thinking about going after Impact. Get ready. If Moxley comes to take the Impact Championship. This will be interesting, seeing Moxley on Impact. It will be interesting if he goes. Now, you also had, you got Britt Baker with Jodie Hager. I believe her name is Jane Hager or Jodie Hager. She finally got a chance to talk. And she basically has an accent very similar to a Becky Lynch. Now, I don't know if she's from Ireland. She might be. She might be an Irish girl. If she's an Irish girl, she's a cuter one that. Even though she needs to fix her, well, she's a blondish, but I think she dyes her hair a little bit more than just a dirty blonde. But the Irish girl made it very clear that she came back, and I've been knowing this woman for a while. She's my friend, and I'm going to wipe the floor with everybody. And Red Velvet, you actually want to start something? No problem. I'm going to finish it for you. So next week, I'm going after you. That's what she said, generally speaking. Now, since she has not been there for almost a year and a half to 2 years, because she wasn't able to come back after Covert. If she went back to Ireland, if that's where she is, she didn't really have that much time to come back. And she's been gone for almost 2 years. So no one remembers her. I thought she got a decent response, a little bit of shock. That's what that was about for me. Last week, her shock, not that she was being cheered or booed, it was just plain shock. That's how I took it. But everyone else said they didn't know who the fuck she was, which is understandable, but they were still shocked at someone coming out, destroying a Red Velvet. So in this case, hopefully it will work out once they get more time with her, working as the enforcer for Britt Baker and Rebel. I know I could say Reba, but I like Rebel because she's rebel without a cause, for me personally. Now, here's a picture in your face, or my face, or our face, of a Jade Cargill. She made it very clear she's very interested. She wants a match on the wonderful Rampage, and guess who she's going up against? She's going up against Cara Hogan. Oh, shit. Oh, baby. Oh, my baby's about to get her ass whooped. I did a video on what might happen to Cara Hogan. I felt she was going to go to AEW, but I was hoping she'd go to NWA, where she would work on her mic skills a little bit more. I felt that might be a better place for her. Now, mind you, we still don't know if I think she is signed. If she's going to Rampage, there's a good chance she's signed and she's part of AEW right now. I was hoping for NWA. I really wanted her to get more mic skills. But she's beginning on Rampage, and she's about to get destroyed on Rampage. But I do not think Jade Cargill is going to job for her. More than that, and if you guys don't know, as much as some people say that Cara Hogan has lost some steam, Cara Hogan is not as great as she is, Cara Hogan's a better wrestler than Jade Cargill. And I'm not taking anything away from Jade. Big ass woman. Cock diesel. She knows how to talk when she's really, well, she still needs work on the talking, but she can focus on what is important in her talking. But as a wrestler, no. She is not a good wrestler yet. She's too young in the business. But a Cara Hogan is not. As much as many people think that she doesn't have the total skills or the total package, she has increased her ability dramatically in the last 2 years. In the last near 2 years, say year in maybe 18 months, 17 to 18 months, she has improved her ring work, her mic skills, her charisma. She is very good. And I can tell you right now, she's not 100% great at telling a story yet. She's still young in the business herself. She's about 25, 26. She's been in the business, 6 years? 5? If I'm right, she might be younger than that. But I think she's been about 5 years for her. 4 or 5 years easily. And she's a better wrestler than a Jade Cargill. And she will make it work. Counting on how much Jade will work with her, because she's still very young. But we'll find out. Now, Don Callis had his moment after the match, what happened with the Bucks. And pretty much the Bucks are going to get screwed up because I believe it's next week. No, All Out. There's going to be a Fatal 4-Way, I believe. I don't remember the teams. And it's going to be in a steel cage at All Out, I believe. It's going to be interesting. Now, let's move on. We now have a match of... The Bucks versus Jurassic Express. Now, this isn't the first time these guys have met one another. And I gotta say right now, I do believe I have his picture. It's in my face. Luchasaurus is money. When will they see that Luchasaurus is money? The damn dinosaur needs to eventually go for a world title or TNT title. Luchasaurus is money. He is. He's a big guy that's fast. He has a personality. He has a damn funny gimmick that people will take seriously, but they know it's still a joke. In the end, you had the Bucks win through every shenanigans under the sun. It happened, and I'm not surprised. I didn't expect them to job here. And as I said earlier in that interview, they will be dealing with a Fatal 4-Way in the steel cage, I believe. Because I believe this Rampage, the first two teams are going to be facing one another for number one contender. No, not number one contender. Something about contendership, I believe. And I think it's Private Party versus... Who are they going up against? I can't remember. I don't think it's Jurassic Express. It could be, but I don't remember. But this is what you get. Now, the Paul White segment. Now, I saw this one 100 miles away. Paul White making it very clear he's happy he's in the ring with Tony Schiavone. He loves Tony. Wants to rub that bald head almost. And Tony's not getting bald, but he kind of wishes it was so he can match up. But you get my point. He's very happy that he was able to get back in the ring. He was able to help Tony and his... And he wanted to make it clear that... excuse me. He wanted to make it clear that he was there for him and his son. But then QT Marshall with the members of the factory come out. And I knew this had to be about Paul White getting back in the ring. And what do we get? We get a shot of Paul White's hip, which eventually, hopefully for me, I will get a hip replacement. I'm going to need one. Quality of life. And then they showed his white ass with a huge scar. And I think I'll show both the x-ray of his hip replacement and his lily-livered white butt. Hey, I got a little bit of dark butt. What's the difference? It's a butt, it's a butt. It's just his butt is like this, and my butt's like this, and this. But the point is, he's saying, really, boy? You show my ass on you think I'm going to feel ashamed? You're showing my ass on TV? Please. Thank you. Pretty much that's where he went. But he made it very clear. He asked Tony Khan, can I have a match? And he says, oh yeah, all out. And he's getting a match. And QT Marshall asks, oh please, you ain't getting no damn match. And he says, yeah, I'm getting a match. And it's against you. And then he acts totally surprised. I don't think I got the shot. If I do, I'll put it in my face, but I don't think I got it. Simply put, this will be the Big Show's first shot in almost 2 years to get in the ring, since he had another hip problem and replacement. I think he had, what did they say, like 2 hip replacements or 5 surgeries, 2 or 5 surgeries to fix his hip. Being as big as he is, I'm not too surprised. They have to custom make a very strong titanium, ceramic titanium hip replacement. I heard about it because sooner they got to get one. But the question is going to be, will he do this constantly, or is this going to be a one-off or once in a while, like a Sting? I'm hoping this will be maybe, he does this maybe 3 or 4 times a year he'll wrestle. He doesn't need to wrestle every day. Being a commentator, I think he's better. He's not bad as a commentator. I've heard him. He's actually pretty good. So seeing him get in the ring maybe once every 4 or 5 months or 3 months, once, not every week, will be fine. That's what I think. Let's move on. What do we got here? I already said about Jade Cargill. Thunderosa versus Penelope Forbes. I got that out so easily. I don't know why before. I could never get Penelope's name out. I don't know why I couldn't get it out. She's a sexy woman that, look at my face. Boobs. I gotta say she's beautiful. She seems to be nice and intelligent. I've heard that she's nice. She isn't a bitch. She's actually quite nice. But when you see this match, you see the stark difference between a Penelope Forbes skill versus Thunderosa. Thunderosa literally had to slow down for Penelope because Penelope is a good wrestler, but she's not a great one. She just is not at the level and caliber of a Thunderosa. Whether you believe Thunder likes to not sell or not, I believe there's some points where she'll hold back and not sell, but it doesn't mean she won't do business. That's one thing I've taken from her for quite a while. There are moments where she will hold and not sell at all, but there generally she does do a good job. When it's time, she will do it selling. But here, you could see the stark difference, and not taking anything away from Penelope. She's a beautiful woman that is smart. She's capable of wrestling, but I don't know what the blue fuck possessed her to wear that top. And look at it again. Boobs. That girl decided to wear an open top that showed how beautiful her breasts are. And she got chopped multiple times into those titties of hers. And look, guys who get those chops, you know how mincemeat they get in their chest. You don't want to see a woman get mincemeat, especially a nice chested one. But she was getting mincemeat, slowly but surely, getting that, and she was turning bright red, almost beginning to show blood. Blood rising to her skin's surface. That's how bad it was. I don't know why she didn't wear something more restrained. Mind you, I liked it. And I like her. But seeing her chop up, no. Now, supposing now Thunderosa is calling Texas her home state. And she's wearing all Texas color. It looked a little strange on her, to be honest. I think she didn't need to wear something around Texas. I mean, I can understand a theme for Texas if you're there. And if you move there for real, that's if she has. Makes sense. But I'm hoping on her next match or the next Dynamite or Rampage, she does not wear it again. Because I don't think that's something she needs to wear. I'd rather see a Thunderosa who comes from the... Make her as she is. She is the ghost of Mexico. She is from the graveyards of Mexico. That is where she is. That is who she is. Yeah, she's in Texas. Nothing wrong with saying she's a Texas girl now, but she's still remembered as the child from the graveyards of Mexico. She wins. And she wins rough. I think I got a shot of it. She made sure that Penelope understood how rough she can be. Finally, the final match of the night. A well-told story. Now, mind you, not everyone's going to see it this way. A lot of people are going to say the match was too slow. Chris is too damn fat. He cannot work anymore. MJF had to slow down a lot for him. This was a stupid thing. Why didn't Chris win? Honestly, none of those things matter. This was a well-told story. It was the exact reverse of MJF versus Cody Rhodes. Cody went through the same thing. Now, mind you, I can't remember how Cody won. I think Cody won that fight that he had with MJF. I don't remember. I don't think he did. But no matter if he did, the story was a bit different. Because Cody didn't have to lose as much as he did. When MJF messed with Cody, he made him get whipped. He made him go through Wardlow. And then he had to go through MJF himself. Chris had to go through all that he did. Bringing in people from outside was totally different than how Cody was doing. Not saying that there wasn't someone who came from the outside what Cody had to be dealing with. But it was a totally different dynamic. You're talking about Cody Rhodes, who's here. Chris is here. Want to know how much? I knew the crowd was going to sing Judas. I knew it. There was no way that they weren't going to sing Judas. There's no way. If they didn't sing Judas, if he came out to silence, everything he went through was for freaking nothing. But admittedly, it took him a little time to get started because not everyone was singing at the same time. But as the crowd began to rise and rise in the song, everyone came together and was able to keep the song straight. And everyone was in sync. And everyone loved to do it. And they didn't just say Judas in my life once. They did it twice. Not once, but twice. They did Judas in my life. And that is the one thing Chris wanted for so long, particularly once the pandemic happened. He wanted people to sing it twice, Judas in my life. And he got what he wanted. And it was only them. They were his song. That shows how engaged Chris Jericho is. I think this is the most engaged Chris has ever been with his fans in over a decade, even when he was the best at what he did. He was never this hot. Never this big. This is the first time I think since I don't know when Chris has gotten this hot. And in the end, no matter if you're happy that he lost or you're mad that he lost, it told a damn good story. Yes, was it slow? A bit slow. Yes, was it cheating? Yes, it was. Both of them cheated. And both of them got what they wanted. MJF got his recognition by now winning against Chris 3 times. Chris got the sympathetic baby face, which is so over with the crowd and most people at home, which is going to bring in more ratings, going to bring in more t-shirts since they're a t-shirt company. And pretty much when Dynamite is done, which it is, and they move to Rampage, and like I said in the beginning of this video, CM Punk better show up. If he does not show up after what has happened on Rampage to set up for him, they are going to go from here, WWE, AEW, that is going to happen. If there is no CM Punk, or maybe Daniel Bryan will bring it down to here, but no CM Punk, it will be here. They need to deliver on CM Punk. He must be there. Because once that happens, I'm not saying that CM Punk and Daniel Bryan is going to make a huge movement in the wrestling industry. Like, let me make it clear, guys. I love CM Punk. I still love him. When it comes to Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson, I still think the American Dragon still has something to contribute easily. I wish Samoa Joe was with them, but this is what you get. I would love to see all three of them work together because all of them did. I want to see the triad of Samoa Joe, of CM Punk, being the leader of it, and Bryan Danielson, the triad, taking out the Death Triangle and saying, you're using the name Death Triangle. We are the true triad of professional wrestling. We are the triad that made everything the way it is. What you got right now is because of us. That's what I would love to see. The triad. But if there is no CM Punk, they're not going to get anywhere. They will drop below WWE. People will be very angry. But when they do show up, will there be a bump in ratings? Hell yes. Now it's going to count on one factor where they'll go from being here to being here. Let's be honest. WWE will be here. They'll be here. There's only one way it could really happen. And that they lose. And that's WWE, one of the most precious people they have. One of the most precious. And that's Rock. I'm saying it right now. There's only one way they can go from being here. If, as long as everything stays the way it is, WWE still sucks. They don't get NXT done well. All that crap. For them to go like this means either Rock or Cena. I'm going to be honest here. If Cena finishes what he does, and he doesn't have a contract, he's just come in to be paid. If Cena goes over to AEW and does a short stint, Vince will be, he'll have a heart attack. If Rock does it, he'll have a heart attack. He will be fucked because it won't look good to him. Because it'll show that no one trusts Vince. But this is just me. And I hope you enjoyed this. Dynamite Delight. Have a good day. Have a good night. And I will be doing my Grunt Report now. And you should see it tomorrow. Peace.